Welcome back, guys. This is going to be part 3. The first part was cooling system. The second part was redoing the seat so that was nice and tight. Now it looks beautiful. So this is going to be removal of the gas tank. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, show me some love. This is going to be a very big series. This is also going to be put in a playlist from 1 to 0, or from 1 to whatever this ends up being, as far as how long it takes to get this bike that's been sitting for over 10 years in storage back on the road. From absolute start to finish. So this will be everything from carburetors, cooling system, fuel tank, spark, all of it. So check out my intro, show me some love, and I'll see you guys back here in a minute. We're gonna do this together. This is a size 10 or 12, I believe. I'm gonna be using power tools. If you have power tools like power ratchets and stuff, I suggest you use them because it will drastically speed up your life. I'm gonna grab one of my here. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna grab these. These are the main ones that we are going to need. So let's get these ready. I'll show you how to remove the tank. If I can, I'm just gonna crack it loose. I think it's a 10. If I remember correctly, it's a 10. I lied. It's totally a 12. So we'll go ahead and slap that on the end of here. I never use my tool to crack it free if I can avoid it, unless it's like a spark plug or something. But once we do that, I switch over to the power tools. Takes a little pressure off them. And that just speeds up your life a lot. Just makes life simpler. So there's that. Normally you would have rubber pieces that fit these in there and you would have to pop these off. But as you can see, both rubber pieces are missing. So we're going to be replacing those. Most of you guys probably will not have stuff like this, but I am a legitimate motorcycle shop, so I have them. I'll be replacing those prongs because they are missing, and we want to make sure that these panels are fitted for the person that purchases this. So there's that. Also, this is completely undone. This should be underneath it, and there should be a bolt there. There's not. And this tab is broken off, so I don't even have to stress that. So all I literally have to do now that this is out for you guys, so you would have to normally pop both of these out. There's just little rubber tabs. Pop those out. Undo the 2 screws that are on the side right here on each side of the tank, which again, this does not have. I'm just telling you how to do it. The 12 that goes right here. And then you're gonna have to come down here and remove the vacuum hose, which is this one right there, if you guys can see that, and that would be your fuel line. I'm gonna be honest with you, we're probably gonna be replacing the fuel line and all the vacuum lines on this, because I'm gonna go ahead and assume that they are bad. So I'm not really worried about damaging these, getting them off. However, if you are concerned, I would suggest take your time. But for me, I'm most likely going to be replacing these components, so I am not worried about damaging them to get them off. They've been on there a very long time. I would suggest, ow, see, I just split my finger open on the first go, and I didn't even do anything yet. Sorry, my mother checked in here. So I'm gonna pop this off. You guys can see that just using the needle nose. The tank is currently off, so I'm not worried about it leaking out at all. But we do need to get this off of there. And look at that, it just ripped the entire piece out. That's how bad that is. I had a feeling that was gonna be the case. It ripped the entire end off of it. So again, I'm glad I ordered a petcock because that one's obviously trash. So from this point, guys, it's really simple. I'm just gonna pull this bolt out that we dropped back in there. These are your breather hose lines. We're gonna pop those out, and that's going to be the tank drain off for the carbs. I should just be able to grab this now and pop it out. So that's what we're gonna do. So 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. This is gonna be kind of difficult to do with one hand. There we go. And that should just undo like that. There you go. And we're just gonna set this aside for now. We will take that petcock off in a minute, but that's literally the gist of how that's done. So As you can see, the rubber grommets are missing. Those go on the side of the tank, and we will replace those before we put it back together. And this is that entire rat's nest of wiring that I was talking about. If you guys saw my previous video that I undid all that rat's nest, this is all craziness what they have going on here. I am going to be taking all of this out of here. There will be no more hand warmers on this bike. We are taking all of this crap out of here. It is useless. I don't want it. It's not designed for this system. It's grotesque. It's just bad. It's bad. I have no idea what they tied all this into, but it is what it is. So there you go. As you can see, that whole line just snapped off inside of there off the petcock. So we are going to be replacing that fuel line with new fuel line. These carbs have to come out anyways, but we are going to try to drain them first. So, but everything else in here seems to look pretty good. Let's see what this vacuum line looks like. This is not fragile, so maybe I won't replace that one. I'll have to look down here on the ends. I guess that's all right. I want to definitely see if they drained the carbs on this. I'm going to open, if I can, I'm going to open them from the bottom and see if anything pours out of either of them. And if not, I mean, it is what it is, you know? But look at all this crap they have up here. All this hand warmer installation, all that's got to come out. Boy, that's frustrating. Actually, you know what? I might just leave it there and just cut the wires away and be done with it. None of this stuff goes to anything at this point. All these zip ties. Yep, all these zip ties are getting cut out of here. I have no idea what they were doing. Cool. Cool. Electrical system back to normal. Alright, let's drain the tank out of this. Let's drain the gas out of this tank, see what it looks like. Get yourself a towel, flip it on its side. Go ahead and back these screws out. This will ensure that all the gas is at the bottom side of the tank and we go to do this. There we go, that one's out. Get this guy all the way out. Like so. Yep, surprisingly, these are not in bad shape. I may try to reinsert that and see if this thing still works properly. The inside of this tank's in better shape than I thought it was. I'm going to be curious to see if any rust flakes come out with this. We're about to find out. So I'm going to tip this on its side here. We're going to pour out this fuel and see what comes out of here. They said they put stabilizer in it. I believe that because I don't see much rust. So let's see what comes out. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell there was stabilizer in it. Looks like stabilizer, smells like stabilizer. Smells like varnish and stabilizer. Well, that saved the interior of the tank and all the components. There's a lot of fuel still left in the reserve on this. I'm going to have to flip this thing upside down and rotate it a little bit. Yummy! Doesn't that look just delicious? Absolutely delicious. Okay, well, I'm going to do a little more work to this tank just to make sure all the fluid's out before we continue. But I did not see any rust come out with that. It's all stabilizer and old gas, so that is a huge plus. That means this tank is going to work perfectly, and that petcock might still work good if I refit that end piece on there. So I'm going to let that sit for a sec as is. And I'm going to check this to make sure that it still works. I want to make sure these screws stay in there. The seal on this still looks good, so that's a big plus. I gotta find out what I did with that little piece that went with it. And that's a lot of old crappy gas. So we'll let that sit, and again, I'll do a little more work to that tank, but it looks like it's in pretty darn good shape. So good job on them for putting stabilizer in it. Big cheers to that. I'm thankful they did that. So that's it for the gas tank. I have re-tapped in that piece that fell off. As you can see, I put that back in there, right there. This is reusable. I checked it, tested it's fully functioning. I got all the gas out of the tank, so I'm gonna put that back on there. And for part 4, guys, we're gonna go ahead and remove the carburetors out of here. And I've already checked the floats. If there was gas in here, it's dried out already. So for part 4, we're gonna go ahead and pull the carbs and have a look at this thing, and I'll show you how to get the carbs out. I'll show you the easiest way to do it, or my way of doing it. It's really, really easy. You can do it however you want to. I'm going to do it my way because I've done so many Ninja 500Rs, and my daily driver is a Ninja 500R. So I've done this job more times than I can count, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to get the carbs out. That is really, really simple. So that being said, we'll get into that for part 4. Don't forget, this is a series, so this is going to be an entire playlist of getting this bike up and functioning and going. So part 4 is going to be pull the carbs, and then part 5 is going to be check the cylinders, check for spark. We're going to spray some WD-40 in the cylinders or lubricant before we even attempt to turn the engine over, after we clean the carbs and put it back together. And then we're going to feed this thing fuel and see if it fires up. So, step-by-step process. Stick around. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in part 4. Cheers.